Have you ever had those moments where your mind just doesn't seem to work like it used to? Maybe you found yourself standing in a room, forgetting why you even walked in, or misplaced your keys more often than you'd like to admit. Or maybe you felt that gnawing fear of something bigger. What if it's more than just its senior moment? In today's video, we're diving into the first signs of cognitive decline, starting with the early warning signals that many of us dismiss or write off as just getting older. But it's not too late to make changes and fight back. If you're noticing these signs in yourself or someone you love, stay tuned as we reveal simple, powerful habits to help you protect your mind and regain clarity. You won't want to miss this video if you've ever felt the creeping fear of losing your memory or independence. We'll explore habits that can combat the anxiety of forgetfulness and give you tools to reclaim the sharpness and focus you once had. We're talking about habits like grounding, daily brain exercises, and even something as simple as music to trigger lost memories. What if the answers to slowing down cognitive decline are not in a prescription bottle but in simple, everyday actions? By the end of this video, you'll learn how things like walking barefoot on the earth, nourishing your body with brain-boosting tonics, and embracing the power of gratitude can transform your mental health. It's time to take control of your cognitive well-being before those little lapses turn into something more. So, stick with me until the end for practical tips that will not only help you preserve your mind, but also enhance your overall health and happiness. Let's get started and fight back against cognitive decline, together. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. The first warning signs. At first, it was nothing more than tiny lapses in memory. Harmless, she thought. She would walk into a room with a purpose, only to stop in her tracks, puzzled, unable to recall what had brought her there. She misplaced her keys more often, mixed up dates on the calendar, and occasionally forgot a familiar word mid-sentence. She dismissed these moments with a nervous chuckle, calling them senior moments, just like everyone else did. But then, the forgetfulness became more intrusive, more unsettling. One morning, she found herself standing at the front door, clutching her purse, her shoes already on, yet completely blanking on where she was supposed to go. The simple act of heading to the market, something she had done 1,000 times before, now felt like an unsolvable riddle. Her heartbeat quickened, her palms grew clammy. For a moment, fear gripped her, a suffocating wave of panic rising in her chest. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply, forcing her mind to latch onto something, anything, that could remind her of why she had stepped outside. When the memory finally surfaced, she let out a relieved breath. But a shadow of doubt lingered. What was happening to me? Then came the day she forgot something far more dangerous. She had left a pot simmering on the stove and completely walked away. By the time she realized, only because the acrid scent of something burning filled the air, her heart pounded with dread. What if she had left the house? What if the flames had spread? The thought of what could have happened sent a chill through her bones. The signs became impossible to ignore. There were moments she felt like a stranger in her own home, wandering from room to room, unable to recall what she had been looking for in the first place. Sometimes, she struggled to recall familiar names, people she had known for decades. She started second-guessing herself, her confidence wavering. The walls of certainty that had once surrounded her world were beginning to crack, and through those fractures, fear seeped in. Her family noticed. They watched with growing concern as she became more forgetful, more distant. Their conversations were peppered with worried glances, whispered discussions when they thought she wasn't listening. Then came the medical evaluations, the tests, the long, anxious wait for answers. And finally, the verdict: cognitive decline. The words hit her like a punch to the gut, stealing the air from her lungs. For a moment, despair threatened to consume her. Was this the beginning of the end? Would she slowly fade away, losing pieces of herself until nothing remained but a shell of the woman she used to be? But no. She refused to surrender. She wasn't ready to be swallowed by this. If her mind was slipping, she would fight with everything she had. She immersed herself in books on brain health, filled her days with puzzles, music, and exercise. She restructured her diet, cut out processed foods, and embraced a lifestyle designed to keep her mind as sharp as possible. This was not the end of her story. This was the beginning of a battle, one she was determined to fight with every ounce of strength she had left. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Habit number 1. Grounding, the transformative power of walking barefoot. One morning, a dear friend, seeing the weariness in Donna Celeste's eyes, gently suggested something unusual. Why don't you try walking barefoot on the earth every day? It might do wonders for your mind. At first, Donna Celeste chuckled. The idea seemed absurd. How could something as simple as standing on the ground possibly sharpen her memory or heal her weary mind? She had spent years searching for solutions to the growing fog that clouded her thoughts, trying every remedy and exercise she could find. Could the earth itself really hold the key to restoring her clarity? Yet, something about her friend's gentle insistence stayed with her. And perhaps, just perhaps, a small part of her, tired, desperate, yearning for relief, was willing to believe in the possibility of something greater, something deeper, something ancient and true. A first step toward healing. The next morning, just as the sun was rising and painting the sky in hues of gold and soft pink, Donna Celeste hesitantly stepped outside. The cool breeze kissed her skin, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine. She inhaled deeply, filling her lungs with morning air, then slowly removed her shoes. For a moment, she hesitated. Would she feel foolish? Would anything happen? Tentatively, she pressed her bare feet onto the soft, dew-kissed grass. A jolt, not of pain, but of something unexpected, rippled through her body. A deep, grounding sensation, like sinking into an embrace she hadn't known she needed. With each step, something inside her seemed to release, as if an invisible weight had begun to lift from her weary shoulders. She walked slowly, feeling every blade of grass, every grain of earth beneath her feet. And in that moment, she wasn't thinking about the bills to pay, the appointments to keep, the names and memories that sometimes eluded her grasp. No, she was simply there. Present. Rooted. Alive. The science behind the magic. It wasn't just in her head. Science backs the astonishing power of grounding. Studies published in the Journal of Environmental and Public Health reveal that direct contact with the earth can significantly reduce inflammation, lower oxidative stress, and promote better nervous system regulation, all of which are crucial for maintaining cognitive function and slowing memory decline. Inflammation is a silent thief, robbing the brain of its sharpness, its agility, its spark. But grounding, connecting the body to the earth's natural electrical charge, works like a reset button, neutralizing the harmful free radicals that contribute to brain fog, forgetfulness, and even neurodegenerative diseases. A calming embrace for the mind. Within days, something remarkable began to happen. The usual storm of anxious thoughts, the worries about aging, the fear of forgetting, the creeping sense of losing herself, began to quiet. In its place, a newfound serenity took root. Each morning, she made it a ritual, stepping outside, closing her eyes, breathing deeply, and letting the earth cradle her like a long-lost friend. She felt lighter, freer. The weight of stress that had once pressed heavily on her chest loosened its grip. Even her sleep improved, no longer plagued by tossing, turning, and restless thoughts. It was as if, after years of searching for answers outside herself, she had finally found solace in the simplest, most natural place of all, beneath her feet. Experience it for yourself. Try it. Find a quiet, safe space outdoors, a patch of grass, soft soil, or even sand. Take off your shoes and socks. Let your feet meet the earth, unguarded, unfiltered. Close your eyes. Breathe in deeply. Stay there, standing or walking for at least 5 to 10 minutes daily. It may feel strange at first, but allow yourself to surrender to the experience. Feel the connection, the stillness, the peace. It's not just a habit. It's a return to yourself, to the world, to something far greater than we often realize. If this insight has touched you in any way, please subscribe and share this video with someone who needs a moment of grounding, a moment of peace, a moment to remember who they truly are. Habit number 2, the Golden Tonic, a brain-boosting elixir of life. Determined to reclaim the sharp mind and vivid memories of her youth, Donna Celeste embarked on a heartfelt journey to restore her mental clarity. The moments when words escaped her, when she forgot why she had walked into a room, or when the names of dear friends hovered just out of reach, these had begun to weigh heavily on her spirit. She refused to accept that aging meant surrendering to forgetfulness. Her path led her to an esteemed longevity expert, a man who had devoted his life to unraveling the secrets of vitality and cognitive preservation. With warmth in his eyes and wisdom in his voice, he introduced her to a time-honored, powerful drink, the Golden Tonic. This simple yet extraordinary elixir, bursting with nature's most potent brain-nourishing ingredients, would become her daily ritual, her shield against the slow erosion of memory. A cup of liquid gold, the ingredients and their remarkable benefits. Each sip of the Golden Tonic carried more than just warmth. It carried the promise of renewal, the essence of longevity, and the power to awaken the mind. The ingredients were not chosen at random. They were ancient treasures, known for centuries for their extraordinary effects on brain health and cognitive resilience. Herb turmeric. The heart of this elixir, turmeric's active compound, curcumin, has been revered in Ayurvedic medicine for millennia. As confirmed by studies in the Journal of Psychopharmacology, curcumin is a neuroprotective powerhouse, safeguarding memory, reducing inflammation in brain tissues, and even lowering the risk of neurodegenerative diseases. For Donna Celeste, it was like feeding her brain with golden sunlight, illuminating the dim corners of forgotten thoughts. Coconut oil, often called fuel for the brain, coconut oil provides ketones, an alternative energy source that ignites cognitive function. For those experiencing sluggish thinking or brain fog, coconut oil acts like a beacon, guiding the mind back to clarity. It was as if Donna Celeste's thoughts, once scattered like autumn leaves, were gently gathered into place. Chocolate bar pure cocoa, a gift from the gods. Pure cocoa isn't just indulgence, it's nourishment. It stimulates blood flow to the brain, sharpening focus and enhancing alertness. With each sip, Donna Celeste felt her mental fatigue melt away, replaced by a newfound sense of presence and mental agility. Seedling cinnamon, beyond its comforting aroma and rich flavor, cinnamon helps regulate blood sugar levels, preventing the dangerous spikes and crashes that often lead to mental sluggishness. It became the stabilizing force in her daily ritual, ensuring that her energy and focus remained steady throughout the day. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. How to create this life-giving potion. Donna Celeste's Golden Tonic was more than just a drink. It was a daily act of self-love, a ritual of healing, a promise to herself that she would honor her mind and body. Each morning, as the sun bathed the world in its golden glow, she would prepare this sacred elixir with care. 1. Heat 1 cup of milk, dairy or plant-based, until it's warm but not boiling. The warmth carries the medicine deep into the body, bringing comfort with every sip. 2. Stir in 1 teaspoon of turmeric, watching as the vibrant golden hue swirls like liquid sunshine. 3. Add a pinch of black pepper, an essential companion to turmeric, enhancing its absorption by 2000% and ensuring the curcumin reaches its full potential. 4. Sprinkle in a pinch of cinnamon, inhaling its rich, grounding scent as it blends seamlessly into the mix. 5. Stir in 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder, letting its deep, earthy aroma awaken the senses. 6. For an extra cognitive boost, mix in 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, optional, but powerful. 7. Blend well, pour into a favorite mug, and drink slowly, savoring the warmth, the taste, and the promise of clarity. A transformation of mind and spirit. At first, Donna Celeste approached the tonic with cautious optimism. But as the days turned into weeks, something extraordinary began to happen. Her thoughts flowed effortlessly, her words came with ease, and the fog that once clouded her mind seemed to lift like mist at dawn. The forgotten names, the misplaced thoughts, slowly, they returned to her as if drawn back by the golden glow of her newfound elixir. More than just a remedy, the golden tonic became her symbol of hope, a small but mighty act of resistance against time itself. With each sip, she felt not just sharper, but stronger, more alive, more herself. It was not merely about preserving memory, it was about honoring the mind, cherishing the body, and embracing the power to shape one's own destiny. And so, every morning, before even her first sip of coffee, Donna Celeste cradled her cup of golden warmth, whispered a silent promise to herself, and drank deeply, not just for her brain, but for the vibrant life she was determined to keep living. Habit number 3. Music, a gateway to rediscovering lost memories. Even with the rejuvenating effects of the golden tonic, some fragments of her past still eluded her, like elusive shadows fading in the light. There were moments of longing, a quiet ache, as certain memories seemed beyond her grasp, drifting further away no matter how hard she tried to hold on. But during one pivotal doctor's visit, as the gentle sunlight filtered through the window, a simple question cut through the fog of uncertainty. Have you tried listening to songs from your youth? Her heart skipped a beat, caught between doubt and curiosity. Could music really help her reclaim what time had stolen? Skeptical but with a spark of hope, she selected a song that had once been the soundtrack of her carefree days. The first notes filled the space around her like a warm embrace, and before she knew it, memories began to flood back, not just fleeting flashes, but vivid, heart-stirring recollections. Faces she thought she'd forgotten, places that held a deep, personal significance, and stories that had long been silenced all returned with a rush of emotion. It was as though the very essence of her youth had been resurrected, wrapped in the comforting arms of a melody she had once loved. The impact of music on memory is no mere coincidence, as confirmed by research published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease. Even individuals in the most advanced stages of cognitive decline have been shown to experience a remarkable improvement in memory when exposed to music that is familiar to them. It is as if the music carries a key to unlock the deepest corners of the mind, offering access to the richness of one's life and experiences, no matter how far gone they might seem. Inspired by this powerful realization, Donna Celeste made it a cherished ritual to begin each day with a song that brought her joy, a melody that sparked positive, life-affirming memories. She didn't just listen, she felt every note, every chord, like an emotional lifeline connecting her to her past, her essence, and her identity. It became a tool of reflection, a prompt for journaling, and a way to reconnect with the radiant moments of happiness that had shaped her life. For Donna Celeste, the music was far more than just sound. It was the heartbeat of her memories, the anchor to a time when she had felt truly alive. As the melodies wove their magic, creativity surged through her, and a profound sense of joy filled her heart. The music breathed life into her mornings, guiding her into each new day with purpose, clarity, and a renewed appreciation for the richness of her life's journey. The music was no longer just a habit, it was a daily celebration of the woman she had been and the woman she was still becoming. Habit number 4. Movement, rekindling the fire of memory through physical activity. Even though Donna Celeste had made remarkable strides in her journey to reclaim her mental clarity, there were still moments that left her feeling defeated. Despite her deep resilience, there were those fleeting instances when the once vibrant landscape of her mind grew clouded, as though an impenetrable fog had descended. Words that once flowed effortlessly from her lips would become elusive, leaving her frustrated and disoriented. Names and faces, once firmly etched into her memory, seemed to slip away like whispers in a storm. The quiet hum of daily life, once effortless, now felt tinged with a sense of loss. One afternoon, as she sat in her favorite chair, gazing out at the tranquil scene beyond her window, she found herself reflecting on the sudden, unsettling sense of forgetfulness that seemed to be creeping into her thoughts more frequently. It was a feeling she had never experienced before, a feeling that rattled her to her core. She had always been sharp, present, and engaged with the world around her. But now, those same moments were slipping through her grasp, leaving her longing to regain what was slipping away. It was then, during one of these moments of uncertainty, that her doctor, a kind and compassionate soul who had come to know her well over the years, spoke words that would change everything. His voice was filled with reassurance, yet there was an undeniable urgency in his tone as he advised her to incorporate daily walks into her routine. "Every step you take," he explained, "will not only strengthen your body, but it will also nourish your mind in ways you cannot yet comprehend." His words echoed in her heart. He spoke of how physical activity, the kind of movement that many take for granted, was a powerful tool in nourishing the brain. It was something that had been proven time and again by scientists, yet so many failed to see the profound impact it could have on mental clarity. The doctor's advice hit her like a revelation. She had always associated exercise with physical health, strengthening muscles, boosting energy, but now she was learning that movement held the key to much more. Research from Harvard Medical School confirmed this truth. Moderate exercise doesn't just benefit the body. It enriches the brain, increasing blood flow to this most precious organ, infusing it with nutrients and oxygen that are vital for healthy cognitive function. It was a breakthrough that filled her with hope and determination. The simple act of walking, of moving, could awaken her mind, repair neural pathways, and help her rediscover a sense of clarity and vitality that she thought had long been lost. She began her journey cautiously, taking small, measured steps in the serene haven of her garden. The vibrant flowers, once familiar companions, seemed to beckon her forward. The soft rustle of the leaves in the breeze, the melodic hum of birds singing in the distance, all of it seemed to invite her to step outside herself and into a world that was still full of life and wonder. Each walk, though brief, held the promise of something greater. With each deliberate step, she began to feel a subtle shift within her, a gentle awakening. The air, fresh and crisp, filled her lungs with every breath, invigorating her. The rhythm of her footfalls, steady and purposeful, seemed to gently align her thoughts, helping to quiet the mental noise that had become her constant companion. As the days passed, the walks grew longer, and with each passing day, she noticed a remarkable change. What had started as a simple act of taking a step forward had transformed into an act of rediscovery. Her world became sharper, more vivid, and her mind seemed to clear, like a fog lifting from a once-hidden landscape. The weight that had been pressing down on her heart began to lift, and she felt a renewed sense of balance, both physically and emotionally. It was as though the very act of walking was unlocking the doors of her mind, revealing new pathways she hadn't known were there. Each walk became a small victory, a moment of reclaiming herself. The forgotten names, the elusive words, began to return, not all at once but in a steady stream. Her memory, once clouded and distant, started to find its way back to her. As she moved, her mind became more alert, more present. The movement of her body seemed to breathe life into her thoughts, and in turn, her thoughts gave her more energy. It was a beautiful cycle, a partnership between mind and body that nourished her entire being. Through this simple yet profound habit, Donna Celeste rediscovered the power of movement, both as a way to care for her physical health and as a balm for her mind. With every step, she was reminded that it was never too late to reclaim what seemed lost, that even in the most difficult times, there were ways to reconnect with the world around her. Each walk was not just a journey through her neighborhood, but a journey back to herself, one step at a time, one moment of clarity at a time. And as she walked, the fog of forgetfulness was replaced by a growing sense of awareness and joy, reminding her that it was never too late to walk forward into the brightness of her own life. If you are still watching this video, and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Habit number 5. Daily brain exercises. Donna Celeste, a woman who had already made remarkable strides in embracing a healthier and more vibrant lifestyle, found herself facing a deeper, more subtle challenge. Although she had gained physical strength and emotional peace through various habits, she began to feel an uneasy sense that her mental faculties needed more attention. Her once sharp memory, although still reliable, wasn't as quick as it had been in her younger years. That quiet realization, though small, began to make her question, what more could she do to nurture her mind? Was there a way to sharpen her intellect, to keep her thoughts fluid and agile as time marched on? One day, her son, noticing the subtle flicker of concern in her eyes, brought out a gift. He handed her a puzzle book, one filled with crosswords, logic puzzles, and even quick math problems, each page a puzzle, a key to unlocking deeper cognitive strength. As she turned the pages, her heart quickened with both excitement and hesitation. Could she really challenge herself to tackle something that, at first glance, seemed so intricate and demanding? The puzzle book felt like a challenge, an invitation to push beyond her comfort zone. Research from Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience reveals that cognitive exercises such as these, problem-solving activities that engage the mind in deep thought, do much more than merely pass the time. These brain-stimulating exercises actively strengthen neural connections, creating pathways that help slow down the cognitive decline so often associated with aging. The idea that something as simple as a puzzle could provide such profound benefits sparked a renewed sense of purpose within her. It was not just a pastime, it was a way to fight against the subtle erosion of mental clarity. Determined to incorporate this challenge into her daily life, Donna Celeste set aside a dedicated time each day, committing just 10 to 15 minutes to engage with her puzzles. At first, she struggled, and the tasks felt overwhelming. Her mind, once sharp and quick, felt bogged down as she wrestled with the tricky math problems and word clues. She found herself at times frustrated, moments when the puzzles refused to fall into place. But despite these initial challenges, something inside her stirred, a spark of resilience. She reminded herself that this was not about perfection, but about the journey itself, the willingness to embrace something new, something that pushed her boundaries. Slowly, but surely, as the days turned into weeks, the fog in her mind began to lift. Her recall improved. The names of old friends, once slipping through her thoughts like grains of sand, now came back to her with ease. Small details that once eluded her became clearer, more vivid. With each puzzle solved, she could feel a shift, a sense of triumph over the creeping shadows of forgetfulness. Even the simple act of completing a crossword felt deeply rewarding. What had started as a daunting task now became a source of pride, and soon, it evolved into a daily ritual. Solving puzzles began to feel like a moment of peace in her day, a sacred pause when everything else slowed down, and she could immerse herself in quiet thought. The mental clarity she experienced became an emotional balm, a comforting reminder that age was not a barrier to growth, but an opportunity to reawaken parts of herself that had laid dormant for too long. What once felt like a struggle was now a deeply satisfying practice, something that gave her joy and a sense of accomplishment. She looked forward to this sacred time each evening, using it as a way to wind down from the hustle and bustle of the day. Each puzzle completed, each challenge overcome, was a small but powerful victory. In time, Donna Celeste realized that these puzzles weren't just exercises for her brain. They were a celebration of her ability to adapt and grow, regardless of age. They reminded her that she was still capable, still vibrant, and still in control of her mind and her life. They served as a tangible proof that it was never too late to engage in something new, to push the boundaries of what she thought was possible. Even in her golden years, she could find new ways to enrich her mind, to bring it to life in ways she had never considered. For anyone looking to invigorate their mind, this practice is a powerful gift. Dedicating just 10 to 15 minutes each day to mental exercises like puzzles, Sudoku, or even adult coloring books, can ignite the spark of mental vitality. And for those who prefer a more modern, digital approach, there are countless brain training apps available that offer a range of activities designed to keep the mind engaged, sharp, and ever-evolving. Whether it's through puzzles, apps, or other mental exercises, Donna Celeste's story stands as a testament to the profound impact of taking just a few moments each day to challenge the mind, to engage with it, and to honor its endless potential. The benefits are not just cognitive, they are emotional and spiritual, too. By committing to this daily mental workout, we tap into something greater within ourselves, the understanding that we are never too old to learn, to grow, or to rediscover our true potential. Just like Donna Celeste, we too can celebrate the endless possibilities of a life well lived, where the mind remains as strong and vibrant as the spirit itself. Habit number 6. Gratitude and faith, the unsung heroes of the mind. In the quiet sanctuary of her evenings, long after the world had settled into a peaceful hush, Donna Celeste knew that the most powerful elixirs for the soul could never be found in a bottle or a pill. It was the intangible, the unseen, that held the true power to transform the mind and spirit. Gratitude and faith, two quiet giants, were her unsung heroes. Each night, as she prepared to rest her tired bones, she took a sacred moment to reflect deeply on at least one blessing in her life, no matter how small it seemed. These reflections were not just fleeting thoughts but acts of profound acknowledgement, a reminder to herself that there was still beauty, joy, and possibility woven into the fabric of her days. For Donna Celeste, gratitude was a practice that connected her to something far greater than herself. It wasn't about simply ticking off a list of things to be thankful for. It was about cultivating a deep, visceral sense of appreciation for the very essence of life itself. Her heart swelled with gratitude for the love of family, for the warmth of a sunbeam streaming through her window, for the sound of children laughing in the distance. Even the smallest moments, like a quiet cup of tea enjoyed in solitude or the sound of the wind rustling through the trees, held immense value. To her, these were the treasures that enriched her life, the quiet moments that, when fully appreciated, had the power to restore her spirit and remind her of the richness in every breath she took. And it wasn't just her own experience that spoke of gratitude's power. Science too has confirmed its transformative effects. Research from the National Institutes of Health has revealed that gratitude and positive thinking can lead to the reduction of stress hormones, and this, in turn, has the remarkable ability to enhance memory, mental clarity, and cognitive function. When the mind is nurtured with consistent acts of thankfulness, it becomes a fertile ground for creativity and resilience, allowing the brain to flourish in ways that were once thought impossible. The more we practice gratitude, the more we pave the way for mental well-being, giving our minds the space to think clearly and live fully. It's as though each act of gratitude is a tiny thread, gently weaving a stronger mental fabric, creating a more balanced, centered self. But for Donna Celeste, the power of gratitude was not merely rooted in science. It was a deeply personal and spiritual practice, one that guided her through life's most trying moments. Choosing gratitude was not merely a habit, it was an act of defiance against fear, loss, and the heaviness of life's burdens. She refused to let the shadows of what had been lost consume her. Instead, she turned her gaze toward what could still be gained, toward the possibilities of each new day, even in the midst of challenges. She embraced each moment as an opportunity for growth, an invitation to discover what new blessings life might bring. It was an act of radical faith, a faith in herself, in the world, and in the cosmic forces that aligned to support her on her journey. In the face of adversity, Donna Celeste clung to the belief that there was always something to be thankful for, no matter how difficult the circumstances. Whether it was the unwavering support of her children, the beauty of nature, or the simple act of waking up to a new day, gratitude became a lens through which she viewed the world, helping her to see the light in even the darkest of times. This mindset of gratitude, coupled with her unwavering faith, created a sanctuary of peace and hope within her. It wasn't about denying the difficulties of life. It was about recognizing that, alongside every challenge, there was always room for grace, for beauty, for hope. This peaceful, hopeful mindset was not just an emotional state. It was a sanctuary that nurtured healing. With every act of gratitude, she created a fertile ground for her spirit to bloom, for healing to take root, and for the weight of the past to be gently lifted. The more she allowed gratitude to flow into her life, the more she felt its healing power reach deep into her soul, soothing her wounds and offering her a sense of calm. In this space of serenity, the fog of anxiety and fear lifted, and her mind became clearer, sharper, and more capable of facing whatever came her way. Gratitude, Donna Celeste knew, was not just a fleeting emotion. It was a practice, a way of living, a way of being. She embraced it with open arms, letting it shape the contours of her life. Her faith in the unseen forces of the universe was unwavering, for she believed that by focusing on what was still possible, rather than what was lost, she could summon the strength to keep moving forward, to keep growing, and to keep discovering the blessings hidden within every day. If you're ready to embrace this transformative practice, start small. The path to a heart full of gratitude need not be complicated. Start by keeping a gratitude journal, a sacred space where you write down one positive thing each day, no matter how simple or profound. It could be the smile of a stranger, the warmth of your morning coffee, or the joy of spending time with loved ones. These moments, when recorded, become powerful reminders of the beauty in our lives. Or perhaps share something you're grateful for with a loved one, allowing your gratitude to ripple outward, touching the hearts of those you care about. With each word of appreciation, you'll begin to feel the subtle shifts in your mind and spirit, bringing you closer to the profound peace that only gratitude can provide. And just as Donna Celeste did, you'll begin to create a sanctuary of hope, peace, and healing within yourself, one act of gratitude at a time. So, what have you learned so far in today's video? Whether it's the power of grounding to clear your mind, the benefits of nourishing tonics for brain health, or the simple act of using music to reconnect with your memories, I hope you now have a few tools to help preserve your cognitive well-being. I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing that stood out to you today that you're excited to try and incorporate into your own life? Leave a comment below and share what you'll bring into practice, whether it's walking barefoot on the earth or starting a gratitude practice. Let's inspire each other to take better care of our minds and our health. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.